Hey, everybody, Chris Parker here for the Leader Matters podcast, 100 leadership lessons from Parker Resources. You know, in a time when so many organizations, teams, groups, and businesses are striving to success, what separates them? And what we're identifying as leadership is the thing that separates them, not the magic plan, the thing you can buy from wherever and try to implement it and make people do it. It's really the leader that can build relationships, that communicate, can deliver information, can be organized, can show some toughness. That's the way you make your organization better. No phrase, acronym, or program is going to help if the leader is not strong. Leadership is hard, but leadership is very important. So what we do on these podcasts is take a lesson, take an idea, and expand on it short and sweet, give you some things to think about, and hopefully help you grow as a leader. Today, episode 5, worry about what you can control. Man, what a tough thing to do. Easier to say than to do, but worry about what you can control. This is really where you separate people from their vision, what they want it to be, to actually becoming a great leader. Leadership is exercising small principles over and over for a long period of time. So really what leadership is not being perfect. It's not having a great day or a bad day. It's doing the small things over and over and over again, having these principles that you just don't worry about stuff you can't control. That's one of these principles. What do you control first before we talk about what you don't control? What you do control is really 2 things. You control your attitude and effort. That's all we talked about as coaches. For players, you control your attitude and effort. You can have a good attitude about something or not. That's your choice. You don't get to choose where you are on the depth chart. You don't get to choose a lot of things, but you do control your attitude. You control your effort. Are you doing the best you can do? I mean, yes or no. If it's not the best you can do, then you're wrong. And if it's the best you can do, but it's not good enough for some other reason, for something you don't control, you just have to move on. But basically, what do you control? You control your attitude and effort, and you control very little else. So these are some scenarios that I thought of when I was making some notes for this particular episode, things you cannot worry about. These are some things you can't worry about that creep in. And as humans, we're just kind of have a tendency to let doubt creep in and let things happen that you get worried about. And then you have to stop and ask yourself, what can I do about that? You know, now we're in a pandemic, we're in a global pandemic. We've got a ton of political unrest, stuff that you just may not have any control over. Why are we spending energy on that when we could be spending energy on things to make things better, something you do control? Are you handling your business? So these are the things I wrote down. First thing, things not to worry about. Somebody doesn't like you. Guess what? Newsflash. If you're the leader, somebody doesn't like you. You may say, nah, not me. You know, everybody likes me. No, they don't. If you're the leader, somebody doesn't like you. You got to get over that. You got to get over trying to please everybody. But you can ask yourself this. I think this is a mistake. You got to ask yourself, am I doing everything I can do to be successful? Am I trying to be helpful to people? Am I trying to work with people? Am I getting organized, communicating to them, help them build those relationships? That's what you ask yourself. Because it's not as simple to say, someone doesn't like you. Well, I can't worry about that. You can't please everybody. Well, if you're not really trying to build a relationship and communicate and all that, then I guess they are kind of right to not like you. But if you are, and they still don't like you, you're worrying about something you can't control. Next thing, somebody doesn't agree with you. So you're in a meeting, you're in a setting where there's you think we ought to do things this way, somebody else thinks we ought to do it this way, that you go home and you're worried about it because so-and-so didn't agree with you. They thought your plan was dumb. They thought whatever. You're wasting energy. But what can you ask yourself? What would be more productive to ask yourself? Are you presenting your idea the best you can? Did I present that to them in a way that they really understood it? Because maybe I didn't, and that's why they disagreed with me. That's a more productive way to look at that. If you're presenting it the best you can, you gave them as many different ways to understand it, and they just flat disagree with you, that needs to stay at the office. You go home, you don't need to worry about that, or you're worrying about something you can't control. Number 3, something that a lot of people worry about, coveting. You do not have something your competition has. You don't have as much as they have. You don't have this, you don't have that. They have this, they have that. Ask yourself this: are you using everything you have? Are you using everything you have? If you don't take advantage of what you do have, why are you worried about what everybody else has? I went in football, I'd see people complaining about other schools around them having better facilities, and you go to their facility, it looks like crap. When you go to their facility and it's all just junked up, they don't take care of what they have. Why would they build them a new one? Are you using everything you have? Because if you're not, then start doing that, because you control that. If you are using everything you have, you don't control what other people have. You're worrying about something you don't control. So think of those three things. I mean, somebody doesn't like you, ask yourself, am I doing everything I can to work with this person? Somebody doesn't agree with you, am I presenting this information in a way where they can agree with me if they understood it properly? And then if you don't have as much as your competition, are you using what you do have? Are you using everything you do have? So really what you try to do with all the things, you take this what if out. You know, what if is a bad thing to sit around and worry about. What if this happened? Well, it hadn't happened. It's one thing to have a plan for what might happen. It's a whole nother thing to worry. So my advice to you on worrying would be, when you start to worry, plan. When you start to worry, plan. When you start to worry that so-and-so doesn't like you, think about ways you can be a better teammate for them. Think about ways you can be a better leader for them, ways you can help them. Don't think about being mad at them. Somebody doesn't agree with you, start planning ways to present your ideas better moving forward. You don't have something as much as somebody else does, start planning ways to take advantage of what you do have and to get the little things you can do. You know, anything that's happened, you start saying, what if this happens? What if that? Plan it out. Instead of sitting worrying about it, say, well, if it does happen, this is what I'm gonna do. I realize how hard it is to actually not worry about things you can't control, but it is paramount to success. If you want to be successful, you're going to have to learn to focus on what you can focus on. People ask me all the time how I get all this thing. You know, I have a full-time job. I'm an HR director. And then in my free time, I record these podcasts, I write books, I do things, and I still I've got children I play with, have a good time, try to be there for my family. And how do you do all that? Well, one thing is I don't worry about a lot of stuff I can't control. I can make podcasts, I can do things to help people. I'm going to do that. And I don't sit around worrying about a lot of other stuff. So it gives me a little more free time. So think of it like that, if nothing else. All right, at Parker Resources, we've got several platforms to help you out. I hope you'll take advantage of podcasts, documents, books, try to put stuff on social media often. So let us know how we're doing. Let us know if you have any ideas. I'll be glad to talk to you, answer any questions we have about this. This is fun for me, like I said, and I'm looking forward to talking to you next time.